And what would be, what came to you, like how would you realize something like this? What were some of the ideas that perhaps came to your mind about realizing an installation in the tent? Has anything come to you?
I was thinking about like empty like picture frame, where like picture frame is something that you just frame something in there. But either empty or something that gives you that imagination. There's a lot of possibility that we don't know, or like even an inmate, you don't, maybe they're insane, but you have no idea about their imagination. Like people like Van Gogh, he's insane, like we could say it. Like most people believe he's insane, but the way he expressed on the painting is like no one can beat it. And when you look at his painting, you can literally feel the energy and the life in there. So
how mental hospitals deal with, the post after they've been cured, and how some people actually want to stay back in the hospital for financial reasons because they can't sustain themselves, or basically because they feel it's so comfortable in the mental hospital setting because they're so used to that routine and how everything's so systemized. So I thought it'd be really interesting to create a space where it's, everything's laid out for you, everything's numbered. You sit here, you eat here, you relax here.
The chapter was kind of a sense of time because it is daily routine. So, like the first paragraph, it talks about like this daily schedule, and every morning there was a morning bell, the same time every morning, and the time would change throughout the season, but it was always like I just got an impression of like hearing a bell every day at the same time.
But and that side support got sent better food.
Yeah, they got treats.
Did you see the menus?
Yeah, that's what we were
See, like I think those, like if you were to set up a table where there was a menu for the patient, the menu for the staff at the same time, that would be interesting.
That's what I was thinking. We could have maybe like plastic fruit or whatever, like the foods or.
I think you could have the real food there. It's only one night, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just going to get a little dry.
Maybe someone might be.
How it was unmasculine to have a breakdown of any sort, and that mental illness was in fact associated with the female body. I thought that was sort of a theme to consider.
Those could be some fun tents.
Well, it just that, I mean, it's kind of a double negative on both sides. You're not manly if you have, a so-called weakness, but you're like inherently weak if you're a female. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Spectacle aspect of how people were visiting the Institute to look at, I guess, sort of freak shows. And there was a raid, people that went to the CNE and then trekked up to the Institute and tried to storm in and get to see all the people.
So these are all really visual, and I don't know, I'm not used to making it into something in a physical space. I'm used to drawing, but it'll be interesting to translate that.
You need still to refine these with, you just need to think a bit more about the story, or do you need to really think about what else you need to put in the actual work?
yeah, this one, because I don't want to make out the name or anything. I want the real person who's in there. The reason I use Mousetrap because I found a lot of people who live there for like 50 or something years and die there. So maybe I can find from archive, I can find their name and like how long they have been there, and maybe then get out.
just so that we know that all of your stuff is together. We can actually look and know, okay, physically there are 68 installations ready to go up tomorrow. I think your best scenario would be, Lee, are you coming to meet us tomorrow with the tent setup? Call Lee's cell phone and we'll see, because we're going to be downstairs or like down in the pit doing the tent setup. And then in that way our stuff will be here and we'll have to get someone to open it so that we can get it out. And that'll be sort of the only time.
So
otherwise,
at 4.
otherwise you need to bring your stuff up for.
If you can look at the valley and you can imagine the white tents, the size that they are in relation to the people that are down there, a colored light is going to ruin the visual for me. So they have to be that particular light for it to work. Yeah.
With the white, are we trying to send like a message of austerity to people? Just because white is such a...
It's not going to be white. It's a canvas beige, right? So the idea is an archaeological dig.